You're now listening to the smooth sounds of Rick and Thaddeus music.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Conscience. You are listening to the Conscience Hip Hop Podcast. We are on episode 5, and I have some special guests with me today. In their own studio, we have Artificial Christian, Spencer, Warren, Wesley. How are y'all doing today?
Fine, man. It's a beautiful day.
Word.
It can't be cold. We're in Phoenix anyway.
Little do they know, 6 a.m. hits.
I know, right?
It's Brooklyn real quick.
For real.
All right, man. Well, hey, I'm excited to have y'all here on the podcast. This is the first group I've had on this podcast, and we're just going to dive straight into it. So this is a question for all three of y'all. Tell the people a little bit about where all y'all are from and what your influences are. It could be music, life, whatever. Let's start with Spence.
Okay. So I'm Spencer Aubrey. I go by P.S. Edicott. I was born and raised here in Arizona. I've only lived here. So I'm a native. There's not too many of us. Influences musically, I would say definitely Luther Vandross, Stevie Wonder. In terms of some of the other contemporary Christian artists, Michael W. Smith, Stephen Curtis Chapman. And then rappers, in terms of that, a lot of Kanye, a lot of Drake, even DC Talk back in the day. As much as they might be clowned on in today's rap.
They shaped you.
Yeah, and Cross Movement too. They were really good. So, and shout out to K Drama too. I listened to a lot of his stuff back in the day. So,
word. Yeah. That's dope, man. Wes, where are you from? What's your influences?
Dang, I'm from Victoria, Texas. My influence, my rap name, Weez, Satellite Kid. My influences, I ain't really have too many influences. I like to listen to a lot of R&B.
Okay.
Usher, what is his name? R. Kelly, just Tyrese. Like, that's what I was influenced by.
R&B.
Yeah, old school. Tribe Called Quest. I like them a lot. And that's really what I was influenced by. But like now today, more so Chance the Rapper, more so Kendrick Lamar. That's really who I can say I'm just like influenced by. J. Cole, definitely. It's not too many Christian rappers that I can say outside of local that influenced me.
You can give us some locals. Shout them out.
Local, Conscience.
I have to Google
Conscience is hell, bro.
Warren, Hood News Gang, of course. Conde, Jordan Taylor. Just a lot of different.
For real.
A lot of
Talent.
Yeah.
What about you, Warren?
All right, my name is Warren. Go by Warren Christian. That's actually my middle name. So I'm definitely holier than everyone. I'm just saying, by default. But I'm from the Bronx, New York.
That must apply to me. My middle name's Christian too, so I'm gonna take that and run with it.
Yeah, you're Christian number 2 or something. But anyway, I'm from the Bronx, New York. I would definitely say influences like P.S. said, Stevie Wonder, a lot of reggae music. My family's from the Caribbean, so I grew up on a lot of dance hall, reggae influences. As far as rappers, I mean, I'm always gonna have a heart for the 90s hip hop, Jay and Nas, and I grew up on that. Like I feel a big connection to that. But I mean, I think all some of the dudes that Weez named are all dope, especially influenced by the people out here too, man. Like the same names he's named, all those dudes are super dope, and just coming out here and hearing it has been phenomenal. So
dope, man. That's exciting to hear, man. Now, in 5 minutes or less is another Artificial Christian question. In 5 minutes or less, explain how y'all came together and formed the group Artificial Christian. Do y'all want a front runner for this question? Or how about one of y'all tell us how y'all met, and then if fill the holes if he didn't do nothing. So who's gonna? Where did it start?
It started well. I met them at a concert.
Yeah.
I was on stage with I believe AB.
First Friday?
Roosevelt, yeah.
Roosevelt, First Friday.
And so
okay.
AB introduced me to them.
I think it was just
So-
me there, and then me and him been working together. Me and PS been working together for a little bit, but yeah.
Okay.
And I was talking, and I talked to them, but then me and him connected more so than Warren.
Yeah, Warren
so-
takes a little while. Acquired taste.
Yeah.
And so,
Kind of
and so that's what happened. And then he was like, then they came to another show, and I was talking to him more so than Warren. But then Warren was like, "Yo, let's do music. He got one of my songs, cut off the second verse, put his verse on it, and sent it to me, and was like, "Yo, let's do music."
Wow.
And I was like,
savage, man.
You took the hip hop game by force.
Yeah,
I was like, nah.
he wasn't the only one though. You know?
I was like, I felt like and I was like, cool, whatever, it's fine. I was like, nah. Then he texted me one day. He's like, hey, bro, let's get on the song. What instrumental you want to do? I was like, you know what? I had thought about it for a little bit, and I was like, you know what? Let's do the What by Biggie
Yeah.
and Method Man. And so he ends up sending part of his verse in a voice message, sends it to me, and I was like, that's dope. And I send my part to him. And he's like, that's dope. He said, let's go back and forth. So we back and forth 3 different times.
Yeah.
And I think it was either the next day or the day after we got in the studio and recorded it, and it ended up being one of the most listened to on my mixtape.
Yeah.
And then so he's like, yo, let's make another song. And I was like, no, I don't know, bro, because I'm straight G&G. I didn't want nobody else.
Yeah.
Right. And then my wife is like, well, like, as soon as he sent me that text message, my wife is like, well, you and Warren should, this is a good song. You and Warren should make a mixtape together. And I was like,
Okay.
and then as soon as I denied her,
Prophetic over there.
as soon
For
as
all y'all who don't know, Wes's wife
75
is
songs
in the
later.
building.
she got her new glasses on too.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
Okay.
Fresh.
And so, I denied her with the quickness, right? And as soon as I
So
denied
you said
her,
no.
Yeah, I said nah.
Okay.
And I denied her with the quickness. And as soon as I denied her, I got rebuked by the Lord. And it was like artificial Christian. Yes.
Now let's stop right here because at this point, artificial Christian hadn't even been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, it's just dudes meeting each other, wanting to rap on each other's stuff.
Yeah.
Spence and Warren had already kind of been working together.
Yeah.
So then you started thinking about the idea of artificial
Yeah,
Christian.
it wasn't even a thought. It was just boom. Like it just hit me.
Yeah.
And it was just supposed to be a mixtape name.
Okay.
And so it was like, okay, artificial Christian, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, you know what? And I texted. I was like, I didn't know what does artificial mean? Artificial Christian. Like, well, if everybody has this perfect view of what a Christian is, then the real Christians must be artificial.
Okay.
And so
So you saw yourself in that perspective.
yeah,
We're
and-
the artificial
and,
Christians.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so I was like, all right, cool. And then that's when I texted him. I was like, I'm down. And then so we all started making music, and it was like.
So somewhere in the studio, y'all met.
He
I'm
already-
talking the three of you recognizing each other, doing work together.
Yeah.
You were in the studio one day, Wes, and then he was obviously here.
Yeah.
And that's when y'all started kind of really working as a trio.
And I didn't even know he sung until
Somebody lit a candle or something.
The lights were at the right level.
Came in
So
here
you
in
turn the light
a,
on
he
one
came
day,
in
you
here
hear
in a
some
robe.
humming.
Super dope.
He came here in a robe with his wine glass.
Word. Okay, so y'all started working.
And then I was telling him about after we started working for a little bit, I started telling him about an idea about what I wanted my label to be, and then somebody, I think James Dorman was here. Somebody said, yeah, we should just be Artificial Christian, and that was supposed to be just the name until further notice. But then it just became.
It's stuck.
Yeah.
Stuck.
Yo, that's crazy.
And on that too, James Dorman is actually the one who introduced Warren and I as well.
Okay.
So back before I had even met Wes, or before Warren had met Wes, he's the one who brought us together and said, "Hey, you both make music. Warren produces. You guys should connect." We ended up connecting at James's house, watching the DFW Battle League.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Screen him.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Crazy.
So y'all known each other prior. Wes kind of fell into the picture from the first Friday, and then things just kind of went from there and took off.
Yeah, that's a good wrap up for that.
Okay, that's what's up. All right, now before we get unpacking all the stuff that I have, because I have quite an action-packed interview for y'all, something I haven't done yet that I want to kind of work with is a word association. I'm gonna say a word, and in less than one bar, so to speak, if you got one word that immediately comes to your mind, or just a couple words that comes to your mind when I say these words, we're just gonna go through the line real quick. We're gonna start with Spence and go down the line. What do you think when I say secular rap?
Hey.
I think of cussing. I think of hard-hitting beats and a really, really large demographic of people that like it. You know, from very eclectic group of people actually, not just from African American people, but Caucasian people and all the gamut.
Okay, Wes.
Man, my first thought was Kendrick Lamar, and then my elaborated from that is just like, okay, drugs, money, like what the world gives you, what the world brings, the different type of vibe.
The lifestyle of secular rap. Okay, Warren.
I was gonna say complicated.
Okay.
I know our first reaction is always to kind of just demean it, especially of us in the faith, just be like, they're just talking about this and that. But in some respect, it's like someone's telling their story. And maybe if we reimagine that as cries for help or just pictures of reality that we're not used to, maybe we can actually learn to love those people. Man.
Okay. Word. What about food? What's the first food that you think about?
Oh, I was gonna say.
I seen you look up like somebody gave you a vision.
I was gonna say sautéed onions.
Sautéed onions.
Man.
Oh my god, Wes. Follow that up with something else.
I just thought about that cupcake I just had. That's the first thing.
Those of y'all who don't know, we took Wes and Azalea out. We all had cupcakes at Sprinkles, so I can see the crumbs in his beard. What about you, Warren?
Man.
I think of Caribbean food because that's the best food on the planet. So.
Okay, we're talking about some jerk chicken.
Jerk chicken, oxtail, curry goat, roti.
Oh, everybody with the Caribbean that I run into, when they say the word curry goat, they got their neck comes out a little bit. Curry goat! Curry goat!
I took Spencer to my spot, man. He loved it over there, man. Dude came out with an accent, man.
And now
I bet the singing will be forever different on Artificial Christian 2. Reggae mix. Okay, what about gospel rap?
I think of BB and CC Winans and the Winans Kids.
Wow. Okay, Wes. Gospel rap. What's the first thing that comes to your mind about it?
And the vibe of gospel rap, they think that anybody can do it just because you can have a little rhythm, and I don't think that. I don't think it's not for everybody.
Okay.
I agree. Haphazard, man. Like it's almost like, if you do gospel rap, we should like it, but it's like no, so for me, if you're doing gospel rap, there should even be a greater level of excellence, in my opinion.
Okay, so clearly the implication of that is that it's not where you want to visualize it. At some point of disappointment when you hear gospel rap. Okay, what about preaching?
I think about feeding the people, making sure that there's an opportunity for people to hear and understand the gospel in a corporate setting, and then also even on a personal level, like you can be preaching to somebody even one-on-one, and it's like, so not just confined to the pulpit, but kind of extended beyond that too.
Okay.
Kind of what you said. When you say preaching, I think of rapping because that's exactly what we're doing. Because we just writing down our 16 or our 32, whatever. And that's we just preaching to the masses. Like you feel it.
So you hear rap when you hear preach.
Yeah.
Okay, Warren.
I hear transparency, man. Like when I think about the pastors and leaders who have really been able to preach into my life, what has helped me relate. And I think this goes with the music too. It's just them being transparent. Like the saying says, one beggar showing another beggar where's his bread. So that's transparency for me.
Word. Now this one. Now when I say this, I know y'all are gonna think of an inner monologue that you want to say, but keep it. I'm gonna challenge y'all. 3 words or less. Churches today. Give me 3 words or less.
Divided. Need Christ.
Wow.
Man.
This is going in today. I'll have an extended podcast next year on that one. Wes.
Churches today. Artificial.
Wow. Okay.
Preachers put on pedestals.
Okay. Wow. Dang, man. So I'm gonna mark that down because that seems like something we're gonna have to really dive into
we
on a
can flesh
different
it out.
podcast. We're gonna have to do.
let's flesh it out.
For all y'all who don't know, we're gonna eventually do this in a round table where I get a bunch of dudes locally to kind of chop up the topics of the day. And as we can clearly see, if the church has those implications today, we definitely got a lot to chop up about it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wrap up with a few more. The community, Spencer.
Say disjointed, but at the same time, pocketed collectively. So there's smaller pockets of community, but it's not a united effort in that sense.
Okay. Another divided.
This wasn't 3 words or less.
It should be.
Whatever comes to your
It should
mind,
be.
right?
The
Okay,
Lord is
yeah.
exercising grace on you.
Literally, he said exactly what I wanted to say.
Okay.
So
Word. Warren.
I would say I'm not that I don't agree, I do, but I think community, when I think about it, is just positive impact and how necessary it is. Like, you need to be connected to community to live this walk out.
Word. Okay. Now, we got community. This is my last one for y'all.
Yeah.
3 words or less. The mission.
Man.
What do you think about when you think about the mission?
Teaching teaching his commands.
Okay.
Really, yeah.
Word. Word. Wes.
I would say love, grace,
Ooh, yeah.
and discipleship.
Love, grace, and discipleship. Warren, follow
I
that
would
up.
just
What you
say
got?
restoration. And at
Restoration.
that point, let's lead into our no,
First song.
First single coming in exclusive cuts. Get your glasses on. Get your Chardonnay. We got an exclusive cut. Word. Well, I appreciate y'all for playing that game with
Thank
me,
you,
man.
man.
I really think
Yeah,
like if we could kind of like do that, like word associations with cats, I feel like we would get a pulse for kind of where people's hearts are and their personal experiences, as well as like people's interpretation of what they're seeing outside the world today. So, some people could think really introspectively when I ask those questions. Some people think of something they experienced. Some people think of just politically, like what do other people think about these words? So it's always good to see how people are kind of wired and what they respond to. And I definitely think that these words, a lot of people will probably think through differently, as well as share some of your guys' sentiment. I think the cool thing about that was it showed that a lot of things have different implications than just at face value, some of those things. So that's pretty crazy. We'll definitely dive into that another time. Now, this question is for Wes. All right. What you said you were with G&G, Good News Gang, okay?
Yeah.
Give a little brief story. It's a clique that you roll with, a rap clique, a life clique that you kind of came up with in Texas and eventually still ride out with here. Some of G&G is here, some is still in Texas. Now, what has been different about your work with Artificial Christian than from G&G? What do you see? You see any difference in this experience than with your home group?
Man, I would say the fact that we actually tackle a topic and I really don't come up with any of the topics pretty much.
Okay.
Like, that's compliments to Warren. Man, versus in G&G, we just be writing. It just be like, it's a difference in competition. Like we was always competitive so that we would grow. But like sometimes we wouldn't have a specific topic. Sometimes we would. AB was good for coming up with topics.
Okay.
But most of the time it just be random, like just like sporadic. Like we had a mic and it's okay, somebody's gonna go record. Somebody is always in the studio recording versus okay, Warren sending me something like, yo, I need a verse.
So would you say there was a little more structure to the process?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up. Now, another follow-up question for you, Wes. Do you feel like you've stepped up your game since being with G&G? Did Artificial Christian, if so, in what ways has this experience shaped you that G&G might not have? Not because one or the other's better, but just because of the uniqueness of the experience in each group. Did you notice anything in this group where you were like, yo, like something about me is motivated in a different way?
Definitely. I grow because me and G&G, me, Kevin, and Rob, almost we have different styles, but we completely old school. Like that's what we do. AB is trap. I don't like trap too much. So whenever me and AB made a song,
that's crazy because y'all make some of the best records out of that group, in my opinion. But that's crazy. That's interesting to hear you say that.
Every time me and AB make a track, it's always trap, and I grew in that aspect. Mm-hmm. Now me and Warren, we have similar styles, but he picks more mainstream beats. Mm-hmm. And now, and definitely this man here, Aubrey picks some different beats as well. Mm-hmm. And so it's not what I'm used to. It's not the boom bap. So definitely, like whenever I'm with them, I have to think outside of what I would normally do.
Sure. And now we're just talking delivery, what you're talking about.
It's just everything. Like if he says talk about cottage cheese. Mm-hmm. This man is probably gonna go through all the different types of cottage cheese. So I would have to.
Man's cut a lot of cheese.
So I would have to think of the different things that cheese are made of, mm-hmm. or tell a story about cheese, mm-hmm. so I could actually have something, or you know what I'm saying, or like I learned also in this group that like people can't pat their head and rub their stomach at the same time, so it's better to just just go with people when they patting their head. So if it's like boom, 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 I need to find a rhythm that's boom, 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 and have that same thing so they can listen and bob their head at the same time.
That's so good. That's beautiful.
That's very interesting. Yeah. Now, let's kind of zoom out a little bit back to Artificial Christian. What's one thing that people probably don't know about you guys individually? I want one answer from each of you individually, and then one as a group. You can point something out that maybe people wouldn't know about you guys at face value. Spence, personally.
I'm single.
I was gonna say the soul in those records tells a different story.
It's come from a place of faith.
So that's why we get them crazy hooks. We're getting him at his best right now. Y'all better cop the project when it comes out, because he might not be that fire in that stomach.
Exactly.
It might be a little more joyful. All right, Wes, what about you?
They might not know about me.
Oh
man, my wife is the inspiration for a lot of my songs.
Okay. Word. Okay. Y'all want us to pause the podcast? Word. Okay, so she's the driving force behind the motivation and the subjects, probably, right? Yeah. Okay. That's crazy. All right, Warren.
I would say I'm a big internal processor, so a lot of what I'm doing, musically or a lot of life is just going on inside my head for the most part. So
sure.
Sometimes people are like, "Oh, you're an extrovert." I'm like, "No, not really." I'm really just.
You're out there, but you're in your head.
Yeah, a lot of times. Yeah.
Wow, that's dope, man. All right, now let's walk through a little bit of the song making process. Mm-hmm. Now, how does a song typically get made with y'all? I'm gonna follow up with that. Are y'all usually in the same room? Who's picking the music? Do you all record together? Paint a little bit of a picture, if you can, briefly, about what it looks like when you guys make a song from concept to finish. A song, not a project.
We're gonna let Warren. But
we're gonna let the internal thinker go into this.
Before we tell you, just know that I picked one beat on the project.
Okay.
No, I mean, you know what? If I'm being completely honest, a lot of what I will pick or come up with, honestly, comes from the conversations, maybe like you and I have, or I have with these guys, or I'm having in my small group, or I'm having with my pastor, whatever it may be. Like, and then I feel like the Lord will put an idea in my mind or in my heart.
You can see it in his face too.
On my idea in my heart, and then it's like something turns on where it's like the words are just coming. So then I'll just be like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna start putting some ideas down. Get a beat, put some ideas down.
Now, hold on, let me pause real quick, because y'all got a lot of crazy beats on your project. Mm-hmm. So I mean, a lot of, I'm in the same boat a lot of times where sometimes I just need to write, or something will hit me, or I'm going through something. But sometimes I don't always have the music to speak that out, or that I feel comfortable jumping on. Is the music always there for you?
No, I mean, usually a lot of times we'll get free stuff, and I just want to get ideas out for the most part, man. Like, I feel like these messages are placed on hearts and minds for a reason, and I do view this as a ministry. So like, you know, if we don't have something original made, we're gonna find a beat, hopefully that's free or that's available for use, and we're gonna lay it down, man. Like, we're gonna do this. You know, obviously that's not the structure we want to run with in the long term, but that's where we're at right now. That's where we're at right now, and I think that's okay. I think we have a plan to make things long term and to not make it that way. But for right now, you know, the Lord's giving us this message, and we're gonna get it out there.
Okay, so you sound like the first man with the baton here in this race. Yeah. What happens with?
All right, so I'm either. I'm not gonna say that, but sometimes I'll be driving and thinking, not writing, driving and thinking, and you know, I'll stop wherever. I've written in all types of places, parking lots, random streets. If you look down your random street, there's probably a silver car there, and me and a beat.
Don't share location. Don't share location on your phone with this man, because you might think someone's depressed.
Like a beat, and then I'll start writing, and then I'll be like, all right, like this is what I hear, this is my verse. Like, what do you guys think? And you know, they'll come back and say, okay, all right, do this, or we want to add this here, or this is what I'm thinking, and then we'll get in the studio together. You know, we'll lay it down, and then ideas are just constantly coming in.
Now, y'all writing together? Y'all writing outside of each other?
We probably wrote together. We probably wrote together like twice.
Yeah.
And
so when you guys definitely record together, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Okay, so song ideas is bouncing around text, phone, beats. Spencer, you're here a lot, so you probably catch it right when he gets home. Okay. And then y'all just come together and work out. Now, how many of the project that y'all are going to talk about today, how much of that is the hook getting made late at the end? Is the hook starting the records?
The hooks are there usually from the jump, man.
Mostly, it's my verses the last. Always.
Okay. The hooks are there, man. Like, you know, I sometimes what we've even done is I'll come in maybe early Saturday morning, and I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna lay down some stuff. Then I'll send Spencer a message, and I'm like, all right, add something to this.
Okay.
Like, what do you think? And then he'll come, and I'll come back later in the day. He's gone, I'm here, and I'm like, dang, he killed it. Yeah. And I gotta wait till he comes, and I call Wes, and I'm like, yo, Wes, Spencer just killed something. So I mean, it's looked different for different songs. It's been different, but I think we've given you like a general how most of the songs have come about.
I think Sliding is the only track I might have finished my verse before you.
We were just
Yo, that's dope, man. And mind you, Sliding just got featured on Rapzilla. For those of y'all who don't know, is that the official single for the project?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the first one.
For those of y'all who don't know, they got a record out called Slidin'. It's the snapshot to the whole project that they got coming out. Did y'all settle on a name for you? Is it self-titled?
It's gonna be self-titled.
Okay, so Artificial Christians is the cause for the occasion here, meeting together. But yeah, Slidin's one of the singles on there. It just got featured on Rapzilla. It's been out for a minute. You can check it out on SoundCloud, Rapzilla. It's super dope. It's got a whole different feel to it than I think a lot of music that a lot of the people out there are used to hearing it, at least in my opinion. That's going to wrap it up for part one of our interview here. Guys, I'm super excited for some of the follow-up stuff that we're going to talk to you about. So we kind of painted the canvas for these fellas, their background, some of their passions, a little bit of their personal story and things that make them tick and how they came together. We're going to follow up with a part two. Make sure you check out part two. In my mind, there's going to be about 3 parts to this interview. So we like to package it nice and easy for y'all when y'all are in the whip or working out at the gym or whatever. But we're going to go ahead and sign off, and we'll be back with part 2 with Artificial Christian.